What's good, Joe?
Urkel, is it crazy for me to say that I think that having like the Rockets in game one help us rebound better this game? Like, I don't know if it put more focus into being more high energy on the glass, make sure you're running off of the boards, but I think it helped. Because I saw us have a lot of activity out there on the night. I don't know the exact stats of, the rebounding. I could check it right now, but we out rebounded them by a lot.
No, I don't think that's what it is. They're not they're not a great of rebounding team as the Houston Rockets. Matter of fact, you know, people the incorrect correlation that people tried to do is that they tried to turn the Timberwolves into the Rockets, and they do something completely different. They don't crash the glass like Houston does. If you watch what they actually do, they actually get back on defense. They don't crash the glass like you think. You know what I'm saying? And that was happening, most of the game when they were just crashing. They weren't crashing like that. And they are, they try to push the pace and all of that stuff. And they were trying to do the drive and kick, and Draymond is the best at taking that stuff away. So drive and kick, they took away a lot of that stuff. They forced
Yep.
back shots.
Nope. Yep.
They forced the shots or whatever, and they took away a lot of that stuff. So it kind of worked. It kind of worked out in our favor. So yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Now let's get down to business. Uh, we needed to win that fucking game tonight, bro. Thank God they won that game. I don't ever want to hear Buddy Heel slander again, dog.
Buddy Hield.
That man,
I'm
Never,
buying the jersey and
never
putting
never.
it
in
on my
life,
wall.
bro.
It's
He
it's
could
done,
dig up
bro.
his ass 10 games in a row. I don't even want to hear it.
Buddy Hield is the greatest
And
warrior of all
he
time.
needs he needs he needs to start every game.
Bro, I'm buying the jersey
Because
and putting it
doing
on my wall.
being on the bench is what is the reason why sometimes he's
Eric,
inconsistent.
I think that 9 for 11 game he just
Like,
had, like watching the ball go in the hoop that many times. I mean, I guess we'll see like how as
It
he
gave him
continues to
confidence. He's shooting with more confidence now, no doubt.
a
because
lot more
he's
confidence, and
starting, he's
he
playing
feels
like a
more
starter.
like. Also, if you watch, he feels more like he doesn't feel as hesitant with his shots anymore. Like he feels more grounded. Like he's not like hesitating and then like throwing something up. Like he feels more like almost confident, like that he's gonna make a shot, so he like takes it. Like when he's like more open. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the confidence thing, though. You know what I'm saying? That ain't nothing but confidence. That is purely confidence. I mean, when you look at what he was doing this entire time, uh, and you listen to his post game and all of that stuff, all he was talking about was mentality and confidence and all of that stuff. It is a confidence thing,
Yeah,
you
shout
know.
out to his defense too.
Yeah.
He's
Now,
playing fantastic defense.
Yo, Eric,
yes, sir. What's going on?
I'm a little bit worried about Jimmy's facial expression, man. Did you look at him after the game?
What did you see?
He was
I mean,
limping.
he was limping, and he was even if when she was talking to the lady, the interview, you could see his face. He couldn't even. He stayed for like, let me see,
Yeah,
30 seconds, man.
he looks hurt, man. Like
Yeah.
he looks real hurt.
Now
He's in
I'm
pain.
worried, man.
He's in pain.
Hmm.
Yeah, the Rocket series took a chunk out of us, bro. It was just one of them series, man.
But we
And
could
I
we could
think
we could
if
we
you
could sit
guys
on.
remember, if you guys remember, a lot of people were saying that like before the playoffs, like the Rockets, you might beat them, but like what do you get in return? Right. And like we're kind of facing that right now with like all these injuries and stuff. It's like, yeah, we beat them and I was confident to start that we would beat them.
Bro, you know what's
They play
wild though?
physical.
When we went up 3-1, the I wasn't really worried about beating them. I was worried about, finishing off the series as quickly as possible. And and I know they couldn't beat us, bro. But, in the playoffs, this is war of attrition stuff, you know what I'm saying? And That's the main thing that I was worried about. I have ran track since I was 7 years old, 6 years old, right? And I have had that injury probably a dozen times. You know what I'm saying? And every time it feels like 2 weeks, a month. You know what I'm saying? And it is a fast twitch injury. It happens very often. And let's just pray that we get the best case scenario out of it, which is probably a game one. Hopefully we can get back Steph and probably by games three, probably not games three, but games four. So if we can just muster up another win like that, that would probably be the best case scenario, right? So this is going to be a long series, though. These dudes are not going anywhere. So we definitely, you know, clamped them up tonight. But without Steph, in a playoff series, it's going to be a tall, tall order, and I know y'all clown us about this all the time, bro, but positivity right now is super, super important. Because look at the two games that Buddy Hield just had, bro. That was strictly off of just pure confidence and positivity and him not his brain not moving a million miles an hour. You know what I'm saying? So that is just one of these things where I was just looking at it and you know we don't expect Buddy Hield as a shooter to have those types of games. And you watch what he was doing, man. And in that third quarter, Buddy Hield won us that game tonight. I want y'all to know that, bro. 24 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and he shot 5 of 8 from three tonight. He absolutely won us this game, bro. 100% he won us this game.
1,000%. You gotta give shout out to
1,000%.
Steve. He coached his butt off tonight. I mean,
Yeah,
legit
he
coached his
did.
butt off.
Usually I'm ready to kill Kerr, but he did have a good night tonight. He did coach great.
He had to go all lives matter tonight just because he had to, buy as much time as possible for the main rotation guys because they're just gassed right now. He just he's just absolutely fatigued out of his mind right now, and they need as many minutes as he can. That's why Steve did all live matters tonight. That's why he went 13 men deep tonight.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna slander Pods because I still want him to play really well. We're gonna need him, especially with Steph out.
Nah, bro, we can't. No, no, no. This ain't no time to no slander or do none of this shit, bro.
Yeah,
Because we're gonna need. We've been through this before. You know, 2016, 2018, 2019. We've been through this before, right? And this is a belief, all hands on deck, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
we need everybody.
you know, we need everybody, bro. And the buddy thing, it's going to be extremely vital because we run a motion offense and there's movement in there. You need these movement shooters in there. So us getting that game from Buddy Hield tonight was massive, beyond massive. I cannot even I cannot even stress how important that game is, right? So this is a situation where, it is all hands on deck now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do the goofy shit where we're bashing this guy and we're bashing that guy. Enough of that, right? We can get through this, but it's going to take a lot of positivity from the fan base and a lot of encouragement. So I will implore y'all. I can't tell y'all what to do, but I will implore y'all to just stay positive because the Wolves are going to come guns blazing the next game. And we are going to need to withstand whatever they're going to send our way, right? So, Buddy Healed, we need another game like that from him. Bro, I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's like every other day, right? These games are every other day because now we're in the second round and there's oh so many teams remaining, right? So just based on how many teams are remaining in the NBA and the TV schedule, I would say Steph probably misses. Did he? I think he misses games two and he misses games three, right? So let's cross our fingers and hope they can work magic and a miracle for games four, right? But if we can win one of the next two games, then we can start to buy ourselves some time. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what we can do. But, you know, you saw the value of Jimmy Butler, you saw the value of Buddy Hield. And especially you saw the value of Draymond Green tonight. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. And Draymond absolutely fucked up the Minnesota offense tonight. Did you watch
Great
it?
game from
By the way,
Draymond.
Did you actually watch
in
what
terms of
Draymond was?
Draymond, hold on, Urkel. In terms of Draymond's impact, do you know how many rebounds Julius Randle had today? He had three
Three,
rebounds.
I think.
He had three rebounds.
I know because I put him on my ticket.
Like that, like you want to talk absurd on how Draymond was
The
tonight?
point that I was trying to make, right, is Draymond. All right, the Laker fans think that they have a good defense. No, they don't have a Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying? The cat and mouse game that I watched Draymond playing with the Minnesota defense tonight, he had them second guessing. You know what I'm saying? He was just baiting them into doing certain things tonight, and that's why they really didn't start off that game. And you know, Steph, when he was in that first quarter, man, he had a pep in his step, bro. Like it's almost like he was saying, "Yeah, this team has no shot against us." You know what I'm saying? And then he makes that move. And the funny thing about hamstring injuries, bro, like you can twist a certain way, you can turn a certain way, bam, hamstring injury, right? And it looks like he didn't even make that explosive of a move, but that's how the hamstring goes, man. You know what I'm saying? So once he did that, I was like, shit. And
I
people
mean,
was like,
the fact that he was kind of still moving pretty okay
don't matter,
after
don't
losing
matter.
it, kind
It
of
doesn't matter.
because if he couldn't
It
move,
does not matter, bro.
I would be like legit scared shitless.
No, no, no. It doesn't matter, bro. Like that's not how the hamstring works. You know what I'm
But I
saying?
mean,
Like
you
it's a
can't fuck with it. That's why we're saying that he might miss
yeah,
the
yeah.
season.
You
I'm taking this.
cannot feel anything. You cannot feel anything, and then you sit down and then all of a sudden you can't move. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just one of those things. You just never know with this injury, man. So the glute, the hamstring, and the groin are the three most annoying fucking injuries, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you really can't mess with it, right? And this is just a worst case fucking scenario, bro. And it makes me pissed off that we couldn't just give these guys some rest. You know what I'm saying? That's why the approach in game 5 annoyed me, and then game 6 we just did all types of goofy shit in that game 6, right? But it is what it is, and all we got to do is just, you know, uh go all hands on deck and figure out what we can do. But we need another game like this from Buddy Hield. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere from 16 to 25 points we need from Buddy. Um Draymond had 18 points tonight. Can you believe that?
This
He hit
series
four
could low
threes in the
key.
first half, bro. Four of them.
This series
Yo,
could
Er,
low key come down
Rudy
to.
wasn't not nowhere near that man. He just striped it.
Yeah, and this game was won, I think, in the first half.
Yeah.
This series could turn. Nah, because we kind of lost it in the fourth a little bit.
Nah, nah. I mean, it's fine, bro. Like teams
I
are
mean,
gonna make a
they're gonna
run.
make a run, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
teams make runs, but I think we won the game in the first half, and Draymond was the guy, like in that first half. So
Quite honestly, in that second quarter was probably some of the best defense I've watched him play all year
That
long.
was
Okay,
wild
Steve. By the
It
way,
was a
defense.
Steve said.
masterclass.
Hold on. Steve
yo,
said
Er, you are talking
he's gonna
about
get an
that this morning.
MRI tomorrow. He's gonna get an MRI tomorrow, and then we'll just go from there. They're saying it's day to day right now.
Come on, bro. There's no such thing as day to day with no fucking hamstring injury. You know what I'm saying? They'll do the imaging tomorrow, but he's obviously crushed. Um, but they have to win this shit for Steph, bro. If we can take care of this next game, you know what I'm saying? Like it it will do wonders. Obviously, they're gonna come out like
Bro,
their
Anthony
lives
Edwards is gonna
depending
come
on it.
out second game. Anthony Edwards is gonna come out blazing, bro. He's gonna
Yeah.
come out on
Now,
fire, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. It looked cool tonight, but I'm pretty sure they're not gonna miss all those threes in the first half. I would bet my hard-earned money on that. I don't
No,
think.
no, 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 no. It's not like so they're this type of team where they try to push the tempo and all of that stuff, right? Believe it or not, right? A lot of these teams, they can't score, right? So, they rely on pushing the tempo, getting things in transition, you know, turning people over and all of that, right? Or drive and kick, right? So you can interrupt a lot of what they're doing. And I think what Ant was doing tonight, he saw Steph Curry at the other end and he was just gunning, bro. He was just going for it. And he was taking shots that, you know, I was watching him over the last couple of weeks and he wasn't taking those shots before. You know what I'm saying? So I think he just was just excited and came out guns blazing, right? But we have to be impressed with that performance, especially defensively tonight. Did you watch how good they were defensively? They weren't just missing shots, bro. Like we were actually, putting them in tough spots tonight. You know what I'm saying?
especially
We
at the
had 10
rim.
steals tonight.
Especially because they missed a lot of threes, obviously,
Yeah.
but especially the looks at the rim that they didn't get is what really concerns me. It doesn't concern
Yes.
me, but the fact that we were able to take that away from them is what I'm really happy about.
All right. So i- everybody and their mama, was saying that this is like the Houston Rockets series all over again. No, it's not. We out rebounded them by 10 tonight. We had 18 offensive rebounds, they had 12. We had 33 defensive rebounds, they had 29. We had 10 steals, they had 7, right? So it's not the same matchup. You know what I'm saying? And you look at what their strategy is on the offensive glass, it's actually not the same strategy, right? Fast break points, we kept them in check in terms of the fast break points, right? So we did a really, really good job of kind of mucking up their offense. And, they try to get you in the pick and roll and the 2-on-1s and all of that stuff. And bro, Draymond was just baiting them into nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Um, Hell of a game by him tonight, man. I think he was the best player on the court tonight. Um, that's just me.
You were right this morning. You were talking about that this morning, if I'm not mistaken. You told them that. This is why people need to understand the game. The matchup is completely
Yeah.
different. You were talking about the straight line thing they were doing. If they do
Uh-huh.
it, they dare them today. See what happened?
Hold up. I was talking about that this morning, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm glad you confirmed that. Yeah, and what I was doing this morning is that I was going back and I was just looking at certain things and I was like, this is what they want to do, and we are really, really good at guarding those things, right? So, that's pretty much what it came down to tonight. And you know, uh, and then what happens at the other end is that Steph, you know as long as Buddy just stays solid, right? And then at the other end, he's providing that movement stuff. It's okay to start him. You know what I'm saying? Because another thing that I saw that they were doing earlier on tonight is that they were trying to target him, right? And he was doing a good job of funneling to Draymond. You know what I'm saying? And Draymond was just cleaning everything up, right? The difference between their defense and ours, they funnel to Rudy Gobert. When you get Rudy Gobert out the paint and you make him, start to move and all of that. Rudy Gobert is good when he's guarding like the straight line stuff and you can funnel and doing all of that stuff. You see when you start to do like the dribble handoffs and the split action and all of that, and he has to really think about guarding these actions. It's just another thing, man. So that's where it came in on tonight. You know,
Buddy Hield,
Exactly.
Buddy Hield actually isn't that bad of a defender. I feel like a lot of his problem is just the fact that he gets lost a lot on defense. He makes a lot of
yeah.
poor
So
decisions, but lately in the past couple games, he stepped it up. Like I don't know what conversation
yeah,
any
bro, he's been playing his ass off on
hell
defense.
yeah.
If
I don't know what
if you watch him,
conversations.
like especially tonight, bro,
Hmm.
he was he was chasing over the screen, right? Like he was fighting over the screen. He wasn't getting lost off ball tonight. Um, a lot of positive things he was doing tonight, and not to mention that he was hitting shots. He wasn't trying to play above himself tonight. Tonight he was just letting the offense just come to him and just taking what the defense gave to him. You know what I'm saying? So he did a really good job of when they were doing the dribble handoff stuff, or he was in like a two-man action. You would see him like flare out, and the defense had to recover to him. He got some pretty good looks tonight, but it's because but also. The Wolves now know that Steph Curry is not there, so now everything changes, right? So Buddy Hield, the next game, they're going to take him away,
Yeah.
right? Now, what's going to be important for the next game is him to make the read, right? So remember earlier in the season, right, when he was cooking, and then after a couple of games, they're like, "Hold on, we got to shut this shit down," and then they started to fucking attack him. You know what I'm saying? And they started to take certain things away. Now, now is where the playmaking of Jimmy is going to be extremely vital, and Buddy's playmaking is going to be vital because the Wolves are just going to sell out on him now. He's had a game where he scored 33 points and 24 back to back, right? So now they're really going to start to take him away because he's the only movement shooter out there now. So that's what's going to happen. Moses Moody. Moses Moody had a tough sequence tonight. Hopefully, he can get it going. Pods was pretty solid. I didn't mind Pods' game tonight. Pods just got to stay steady and just do his thing. JK had some rough minutes in there. He had a couple of bad passes. GP2 played okay tonight. Pods had like 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Not bad. Quentin Post really couldn't stay out there. Guy Santos, not that many minutes. The minute Steph went down, Kerr was just throwing guys out there left and right. Pat Spencer, solid minutes tonight. But Buddy Hield, Draymond, Jimmy, and guys like that are going to be needed.
And they are starting to close up on Draymond Green on the threes. They
Yeah.
don't give him much space no more because he been knocking them out.
Which is great. I'll close out on him. He'll get by that person,
Yeah,
and then
the
he's a
passing.
great
Yeah,
passer out of that. So that's fine. Adjust to him. Draymond Green tonight had how many threes? He had 2 threes tonight. When Draymond hits 2 threes, when
He
everybody
had four
Draymond
threes
had
tonight.
4, dude. He had 4.
sorry 4 threes, he shot 4 of 10. My bad. I was looking at the wrong column. Yeah. Yeah. So they really, really need to get this stuff involved, man. I mean,
By the way, they also out rebounded the hell out of the T-Wolves. It was 60 to
that's
49.
bro. That's what I was saying earlier, man.
He got 60 rebounds, dude.
I was
Holy.
saying earlier that this is absolutely not the same team as the Houston Rock.
Against the team of
Yeah,
Nas Reed, Rudy Gobert, and Julius Randle, by the way.
Houston is playing jail ball, but Nas Reed is behind the 3 point line. You know what I'm saying? Julius Randle, sure. Eh, Draymond can guard him. These guys are hanging around the 3 point line taking threes. Rudy Gobert is like the only one that's down there, but you see him, bro. Like there's a lot of goofiness in Rudy Gobert, right? But I think we can. I think the next couple of games we can, you know, let's see what we do the next game. But I think we can manage.
I think we
Yo,
can
I
manage
got
it.
a big concern. Whenever Stephen Curry is not playing, Draymond Green have a tendency to acting up too, though. That's my thing.
Nah, this is a playoffs, bro. We can't fuck around.
Yeah,
Not us, him.
he
No,
gonna
no, no,
win.
no, 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 no. That's what I'm saying. Like he's gonna be locked in. He's
Because
He he
Mhm.
wanna
everybody. No,
win.
no. This is
Yeah.
a playoffs, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not worried about that. Last series was Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? This series is a little bit different. You can tell. Um, and the Wolves, they're going to try to push the pace and push the tempo, right? So it's important that we just get back and take care of the ball.
And also, this do you feel that it's a Kevon Looney series?
Yes, yes, it'll be
Yes.
fine. Yeah,
God,
he
Has to
played.
be a
He
Kavon
played. He
series.
played amazing tonight.
In the
Looney
fourth,
played
he
amazing
played
tonight.
a
Yeah, especially
great
when
game.
Draymond was in foul trouble. When Draymond was in foul trouble,
Yup.
when he picked up this, he got inserted in and went right to work
you know
right
what I
away.
would do? I would even put um Jackson Davis, because remember he had the great series against the Wolves in the season. So I would try him too if Stephen. So if we try everybody out there, especially if Wendell is playing and they got Ant is going and Randall is trying. You try. We could put him out there to help on in the baseline because Draymond Green's works well with those big men, when he has help. Let's say if you have two people with down there, two big men, so he can't do really nothing. But we really need that help. And
Yeah,
if Looney is sleeping,
Jackson Davis is not
we,
playing, man. Let's be
yeah,
real. Jackson
he
Davis
needs
is
to
not
play.
playing.
I, and we can try post, but I don't know what's going on with him and Moody. But I mean, I don't know Moody.
Post had a
I don't know.
decent rebound tonight.
You can't play Trace in this series. I'm sorry,
Yeah, you
you just
can't.
can't.
Post had
Why
a
not?
You
decent
can play
rebound tonight.
post. You can play Quentin post, but
What about
I don't know
Pat
about that.
Spencer? He's productive every single time he's on that floor.
I mean,
I love
he would
Pat
I
definitely
mean,
Spencer.
get minutes if Steph.
sure, but you can't use him for too long. That's the problem. You can't use him for too long because he's not really that much of a scoring threat that the T Wolves won't respect. Yes, he got a couple of insane buckets like that fucking Kareem Skyho lookalike, but like, when is that gonna really happen, right?
Yeah, but I
True,
mean,
true.
I do appreciate the fact that he's aggressive. Like he's never scared to take it to the rim. He's never scared to attack his defender. There was a play where I think DiVincenzo was guarding him, and DiVincenzo didn't expect him to drive to the rim, and he just spun off the baseline, took it to the rim, and made the layup. So shit like that, I really appreciate from the role players, especially when Steph is out, because that over passive shit that we like to do, or that's we like to get into randomly. I hate that. So I love the fact that Pat is aggressive, because it's definitely gonna help like bolster up our bench, considering the fact that Steph is out.
Yeah, we're gonna need to use pretty much everyone.
Oh my god, this is insane.
Like First
Hey,
Base played 8 dudes and we played
yo,
like 13.
yo, Laker fans are so pissed off that Pat Spencer was out there getting minutes, bro.
My
Oh
See,
niggas mad
shit.
at my nigga
all
Pat.
lives
Wait,
matter. All lives matter
first and
Oh
speech
foremost,
tonight, and
shit.
it absolutely was
can I?
brilliant. It
First
was
and foremost, I
beautiful.
just want to say praise up for
Oh
Steph
my
Curry.
gosh,
Nigga,
bro.
shut the
Wait,
fuck
hold
up,
on, bro.
man. Shut the
This
fuck
nigga
up.
here.
Wait,
All
first and
right, bro.
foremost,
Go ahead.
I just want to say praise up for Steph Curry. I wish him a speedy recovery. I hope he's back as soon as possible. That being said, 36 points in the third quarter, these niggas allowed that you guys scored without Steph Curry on the fucking floor. Erica, I was telling you this earlier. Like the role players you have are like very fucking good. Don't act like these niggas are chopped liver, bro. When I mentioned GP2, that nigga is good, bro. That nigga is solid. Looney, that's a solid ass big man, bro. That's just shit like my team just did not have in the fucking last series, bro. Like the way you guys do the little things, the way you guys rebound, play defense, like that's like
That's a
you
leadership
guys
thing,
have like
but
all the role players like
that's a leadership thing, but
it's not even like an
Yo,
offensive.
Gabriel,
Yeah,
when Brandon is in there, right? I think you should listen to Brandon Katz because when Brandon Katz is in there and he's telling you, hey, by the way, LeBron ain't a system player and he can't play in a system, that's what you saw tonight is what he's talking about, right? Like when you can play that way and you're used to playing that way and you're not playing LeBron and Luca ball. And there's a possession where I watched LeBron and Luca, right? Where Luca had the ball at the top, LeBron was right in front of him. He passed the ball to Braun, and then he just went into the corner and just stayed there. If you're there, you're not going to do anything to affect the defense, right? Like they don't have to account for you at that point, right? So, they're not even guarding you, like face guarding you or anything like that. Steph can do
okay.
that
Like
because they always face guard him. But
here's where I'm getting negative about Steph Curry, bro. Like this is the shit that like we talk about, bro. Like
no, 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 no,
the
no,
nigga,
no.
like you can't like you
I know
guys
exactly what you're gonna say
but
because
you
every bronze sexual does this, bro. Y'all don't get it, right?
is this man's gravity felt from the fucking locker room, Merkel? Like what are we talking about? Like
Listen. You don't understand. You don't understand why or what goes into good basketball, right?
no, I would never
So
understand a superstar like could be his team is 12-3 all time in the playoffs without this nigga,
I know
bro.
what you're gonna do, right? Like I know what you're gonna do, but yeah,
It's
Jimmy.
gaslighting that
Hold
Gabriel's
on,
doing.
hold on. He always does this. We had Jimmy Butler. Okay, cool. Buddy Hield, Draymond Green, Gary Payton, Kevon Looney, right? None of these guys would log any minutes on the Lakers, right?
Yes,
Why?
they would. Yes, they
Because no,
would,
they
bro.
would not,
Yes, they
right?
would, bro. The
No, they
Lakers
would
only
not.
have 6 good players on the team that like aren't
All right.
playable. That were even playable.
Okay, enough of
Do
you.
you
All
think
right.
do you think
Anyways,
non-spacers can be on the fucking
um,
court with It's
What?
LeBron.
Uh,
Like, are you
Again,
serious?
he comes up here and he tries to derail the argument, right? And every other idiot bronsexual is on the timeline trying to say, "Look at all this help." You cannot
Bro,
tell me
they already lost.
Oh,
they
Jokic,
don't
stop
get it. No,
hating
no, no, no,
on
no,
Bron
no, no. They
professionals.
don't get it, right? Because LeBron sits up there and plays martyr ball, right? Do you know what martyr ball is? Martyr ball is when you run the isolation high pick and roll stuff. Niggas stand there and watch you. You get your points, rebounds, and assists, and then everybody gets blamed. You understand what I'm saying? That's what martyr ball is, bro. How do I know? Because I've been watching it for over a decade. That's how I know. Matter of fact, I've been watching it for 2 decades. That's how I know. LeBron puts up his stats, everybody else gets blamed. You know what I'm saying? So I know what it looks like. So sure, they pulled out the game tonight and gravity and all of this stuff, right? Bro, Steph Curry, that's why they run this system shit all fucking year long. They run it so when you come to the playoffs, they're used to playing that way, right? The Lakers were sort of playing like this until Luka Doncic got there, and then they started to run a bunch of isolations without his lob threat. You know what I'm saying? So y'all weren't going to be very good, bro. Y'all are not good defensively. Y'all are not good point of attack, and you didn't have anybody their back line. Did you see the shit that Draymond is doing tonight? You're not going to
Oh my
know because
God.
you don't have a trained eye for it. What's going on,
Draymond
bro?
was Draymond was amazing tonight.
Unreal, bro.
I just want to say to me, and y'all may not agree with me, this is the best defensive performance I've seen from them this year. I will say this. I got two things to say. Y'all can go ahead and do y'all thing. But I'm gonna say this. Pods, my nigga, Pat Spencer on your neck, nigga. I don't care what nobody say. Every time Pat Spencer gets into the game, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, he makes an impact. He gets in the game and instantly they're going up the court. He comes behind. I forgot who it was. Knocks the ball away. Then a crazy ass left. I think it was left or whatever hand hook shot. He is like at some point in time you got to believe what you're seeing. And also shout out to Jonathan Kaminga. He played really good. But what a great game. We needed this, and I really think we need to rest Steph for games 3 and 4. Like this
No, no,
hamstring
no.
No, not
It's
games
not
really.
three. You're missing
arresting.
too much
No, no,
time.
no, no. It's not arresting. You don't have a choice, bro.
No, I
You
know
don't
that.
have a
I'm just saying,
choice.
I know because I'm seeing
Yeah.
on the timeline. I'm seeing on the timeline some of us saying, how long you think he's going to be out, or you think he can come back for game 3? No, he's not coming back for game 3. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Like, calm down. We have to let him rest. This man has been literally carrying us for the last couple years. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Um the the games 5 and the game 6, uh the games 5, I don't like how they approach that game. It's almost
Nope,
like,
ain't it?
sure, the zone fluffed them up a little bit and all of that stuff, right? But the game the game 6 I think was within reach, and then they made some mistakes, but they were making a lot of mistakes in that game.
My bad,
And
Spin King.
then
Gotta ask this. I'm sorry. You
yeah, go
Jamaican?
ahead. Huh?
Are you Jamaican?
Yeah,
Okay, okay, I hear it. All right, my bad, bro.
yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah, so they listen, we'll be fine. We just got to take care of the next couple of games. Let's see if we can
Yes,
win one of the next 2 games. And
that's what
but
I
but
said.
what we did tonight, starting out, great fucking
Man,
win. Hey,
Draymond, 2016, Draymond with the
let's
I said, what the fuck is going on, bro?
winning game 1 on the road after, and
Big
it's so
Wong.
funny. Bro, it's so
Thank you,
funny
Big
because
Wong.
we're in playback this morning, dog, and everybody. Matter of fact, the last 2 morning, and people are like, "I think we should rest. I think we should rest," and I'm like, "Rest? Are you fucking kidding me? We can win this
Facts.
game." And by the way, Denver won last night. By the way,
Right.
they went to Game 7.
Every
They don't
road
resting in
team
no
Exactly.
playoffs, bro.
won. Every road
Come
team
on,
won.
man. We
That's why
do
you
this.
don't punt playoff
Yeah,
games.
nah, man. People's like rest. I was like, no, this is stupid.
And all I
Bro,
heard was, oh, the size advantage, the size advantage. Oh, I was like, did y'all see us play Minnesota this year? We rebound by committee. They shoot up threes, yuck them up, and look what happened. Was just yakking them up, yakking them up. They didn't make the first three to like third quarter. I was like, bro, we really like, and it wasn't open threes. We were clapping them, like literally clapping them. They start clapping us too, but my